This episode is brought to you by Amazon. It's not too late to get your holiday shopping done with amazing last-minute deals on Amazon. Take your holiday budget further with deals on everything you need, like the hottest gifts, latest gadgets, and most wanted gear at a price that suits you. Shop last-minute deals today. Visit amazon.com/holidaydeals23.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, Randy.
Since we founded Bombas, we've always said our socks, underwear, and T-shirts are super soft. Any new ideas?
Maybe sublimely soft.
Or disgustingly cozy.
Wait, what?
I got it. Bombas. Absurdly comfortable essentials for yourself and everyone on your list.
And for those facing homelessness.
Because one purchased equals one donated.
Wow, did we just write an ad?
Yes.
Bombas. Big comfort for everyone. Go to bombas.com/Spotify and use code Spotify for 20% off your first purchase.
A Netflix original film.
The Wi-Fi isn't working.
In the event of a global communications breakdown, do the following. Stay inside.
What just happened here is happening everywhere.
Avoid strangers.
We've all been deserted.
I don't trust them.
And most importantly, do not panic. Julia Roberts.
What happens next?
Mahershala Ali.
I knew something was coming.
Leave the World Behind. Rated R. In select theaters now and on Netflix December 8th.
And we were talking about this crazy holiday we had in Greece where, you had snogging competitions. It was just debaucherous. It was just bars. I remember being sick on some girl's leg one night. One girl woke up in the bucket of a digger, one of my friends.
Of a big sort of roadwork digger?
Yeah, on like a building site. She'd gone off and some
How
guy.
dangerous is that?
Yeah, she'd woken up in the bucket of a digger. Yeah. Anyway, that's just one story. But the funny story that I wanted to tell you tonight, I won't mention her name because she'd be terribly embarrassed, but we all know who it is, let's face it. Oh, you know who you are. My friend went missing for a bit one night, and another friend of mine found her in the morning, and she was spread-eagled on the bed in our apartment on her own, like face down like a starfish. And when my other friend approached her, she noticed there was something sticking out of her bottom. And as she approached, she plucked it out, and it was the guy that she'd been snogging that night. As he'd left and she'd passed out, he'd just popped his business card in her arse cheeks.
I thought you were going to say it was him. He was stuck in there.
It's actually quite a romantic story because in the end, we plucked it out and we're like, oh, who is this guy? And we ended up, she ended up going out with him for a bit actually. And we saw him again that night. We were like, yeah, that's a slick move, mate. I don't know whether he was trying to swipe it like a visa. Anyway, so what this is leading to is me and my friends are talking about these crazy nights out, all these adventures we used to have. Those things don't happen sober, do they, Lucy?
No, they don't.
You don't have these adventures. I've had a lot in my past, so I have a big repertoire of things that have happened. But these escapades are really my drinking stories. They're not my sober stories. So what we're talking about today is how do you manage people like us who have been there, done that, done those drinking crazy nights. How do we have a normal night out and enjoy ourselves without alcohol?
And it's a really good question. I think it's the same with drinking or any drug. Once you started using it for quite a long time, it takes you to this high, and you need that every time you go out. And when you stop drinking, you can't reach that high. So you're just going out on a different level. And especially when everyone else around you is going out drinking and they're reaching that high, you feel a little bit left behind.
Absolutely.
And a little bit low.
Yeah, you do.
And so last week in our podcast, we spoke about going out with sober people.
Yeah.
So no alcohol in the picture at all. And with people like us who had a problem with drinking and they had got sober, and how difficult that can be and how to do it.
Yeah, so this week we're talking about going out with people that are still drinking. So still hanging out with your old mates, the ones that you've always known, but you're entering a situation as a different person, somebody that doesn't drink and somebody that doesn't end up probably going on the same escapades that you used to. So today we're doing a top 10 guide of your first sober shindig.
Yeah. because we want to be able to help you to do it. And we're not saying that you have to go out and do this all the time. You might not fancy doing it anymore, but occasionally there's going to be times when you have to go because it's a special event or friend's birthday and you really want to go and you don't want to miss out. So how do you go out and enjoy your night without having those mad, crazy stories to tell at the end of it? And those stories, they are really funny.
Yeah.
We do still laugh at our drunken stories, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, we're still getting mileage out of them even now, but we've got enough to last a lifetime.
And I don't want to wake up with things sticking out my bottom anymore.
No,
I'll get over that.
Been there, done that. Okay, so what were we going to call this one?
I think it's Guide to Your First Sober Shindig.
And it is 10 tips on how to make it through your first night out where there are other people drinking. So Vic and I have both found the process of socialising sober really hard. And honestly, being so newly sober, I'm still struggling big time with this one. So I'm looking forward to this episode.
Yeah, I know you struggle with it, Lucy, which I think is actually going to be really helpful for our listeners. At first, I found it awkward too, but now I know the tricks of the trade to make sure I have a good night. I think now's a great time for us to discuss them in the hope that I can drag you to a few parties.
Maybe. We shall see. We shall see.
So today we're going to take you through 10 top tips. I keep saying tits. We've just got 4 top tits here in the studio.
Really nice ones they are.
Yeah. Our top titties on how to make sure your first ever sober social isn't a total disaster. We both know how awkward it is to even leave the house in early sobriety, let alone socialise. But newsflash, it is possible to enjoy a night out as a newly sober person. It just takes practice.
Which I haven't had.
No, which you need desperately.
But what you need, because I have done it a few times, is a plan, Stan. In fact, you may need a multitude of plans to guarantee you enjoy this monumental, life-changing, sober social experience. Because if you don't enjoy it, it can stir up all sorts of feelings, things like feeling left out, feeling overwhelmed, and of course, feeling like drinking again.
Yes, and we don't want that. We hope this guide to your first sober social will soften the blow of your first interactions as a sober person and will allow you to achieve what seems impossible, socialising with your mates with nothing but the real authentic you and a glass of fizzy water. Fun.
Yeah, that sounds really exciting.
It can be, Lucy, don't you worry. Hopefully, once you've listened to this podcast, you'll feel fully prepared for a night out with friends. So much so that you'll grab your phone and accept that invite you've been agonising over. Because you deserve to have a happy social life, and you will get better the more you try, we promise.
What we want you to take away from this podcast today is the strength and confidence to be you in this confronting environment. We want you to hold your head high and say, nope, I don't drink, without feeling self-aware or uncomfortable in any way. Basically, we want you to have fun, do bad robot dancing, giggle with your mates, and to... Right, you ready for this?
Yeah,
bit? Okay, I'll do it. Oh, no, wait, because I'm going to... 1, 2, 3. Feel the awkward and do it anyway. I really don't feel your heart was
Did
in
you
that.
like my monotone voice?
I just don't feel that was...
I was doing like a robot voice.
Instead of the robot dancing.
Yeah.
I don't think it came out as powerful as we wanted it to be.
Anyway. I know at first when I went out sober and I pretended to be drunk, it was really embarrassing, Lucy. I did it all the time. It was extremely tiring. I'll tell you what, people don't do that because pretending to be drunk when you're sober is really, really hard. I was just always pretending to be the extrovert. But over time, I've relaxed into it and I've realised I no longer have to be the life and soul. It does take a few outings before you find your feet. I think Lucy's feet might be stuck at home in a pair of slippers because I've been struggling to get her out. Even though I think it's great that you feel self-assured, Lucy, enough to say no, that is part of this sober journey, is learning how to say no. I think you're not ready, so I'm still a little bit worried about you being a hermit forever. I think it might be useful here, Lucy, before we go over the tips, the top titties, to tell the listeners why you feel nervous about socialising since ditching the grog.
It's interesting you should ask it like that, Vic, because I don't feel nervous about it. Not anymore. So I'm around about 10, just over 10 months sober. But I was nervous. And it was really difficult at first. And there was that feeling of, oh my God, what if I just can't hold myself back and I'm just grabbing someone's glass of red wine and downing it?
Oh gosh, yeah. Because it's that confronting. You just feel, oh my God, I can't. You'd think you'd go into the situation to go, oh my God, I can't do this. Give me a beer.
Yeah, and you're surrounded by alcohol and people drinking. Yeah. So it's the answer. It's the answer that I've been using for 25 years to socialise. So you're putting yourself out there in the danger zone, really.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, yeah, I was very scared and I was very nervous to socialise with other people who were drinking. But it's not nerves anymore. For me, that went. And I'd like to explain it because I think it will be a lot the same for a lot of people. And I didn't expect this next stage. I thought you just had to get through the part where you're not going to drink someone else's drink and end up getting plastered accidentally.
Yeah, licking the bar for instance.
Exactly.
Beers.
Or just breathing the fumes of someone's espresso martini.
I'm still a bit like that with cigarettes though. Someone's smoking, I'm still like, ooh,
I don't mind.
Let me have a whiff.
Every now and then. I know where you're coming from there. But now, so it's moved on to another stage where, look, I can go out around drink. I know that I've got enough self-control and the actual sort of physical addiction and need for the alcohol to be in my system has gone. It's more about going out and being able to socialise without being drunk or at least tipsy. It's about having a different personality. And nearly all of my life since I was 15, when I went out to a social event, I will have had a drink and I would have avoided the event if I couldn't have a drink. And often it would mean having a drink before I went out. And I think that is sort of a bit of a red flag that your drinking's out of control when you need a drink to get out the door.